Now at 5, Freeman Health System unveils its newest medical office facility in Joplin. Plus, how a new group in Joplin aims to help families of children with Down syndrome. And
Nikki Haley campaigns in Washington, D.C. as former President Donald Trump and President Biden offer dueling messages on immigration. I'm Willie James Inman in Washington with details.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin residents have a new option for health care. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Anthony Saviello. Less than 2 years after construction started, Freeman Health System today officially opened its new medical office building. The new center is located across the street from Freeman Hospital. The facility spans more than 30,000 square feet and houses physicians specializing in neurosurgery, urology, and dermatology. Freeman Health System says they invested more than $10 million in the building to help expand services for patients.
This will enhance their healthcare services in the realm of access, being able to come and have a very convenient, safe, and accessible medical office building.
The new building is now officially open to the public. Representatives of Freeman Health System say the building was constructed with future growth in mind. Down Syndrome Group of the Ozarks is now in Joplin. Their goal is to become the leading resource of Down syndrome information in the area. The Springfield organization supports parents, caregivers, and individuals with Down syndrome. The group's expansion to Joplin started last year.
It's nice to be able to know that you are supported, to know that you can actually get some information from others who have walked that path maybe a little bit longer than you have, and to know that there's an organization like DSGO to be able to call on if you need help.
You are doing great, and you have resources and you have family who are supportive and are really there for you, then you could be that for another family. So we encourage, if maybe you feel like you don't need that group, we might need you and another family might need you.
Down syndrome occurs when an individual has a third copy of chromosome 21. 1 in every 700 babies in the U.S. is born with Down syndrome. Tonight at 6, we'll hear the story of a very special family who has 2 kids with the diagnosis and how the group is helping them. Now, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us with a first look at the weather.
Well, it's Friday, and it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. A little bit warmer. Temperatures not bad. Most of us into the upper 50s to near 60 for afternoon highs. Currently, it's 54 in Stockton, 57 in Anderson, Miami 58. Pittsburgh is sitting at 54 degrees. We'll slowly drop back through the evening hours, through the 50s, 40s, and we'll bottom out right around 40 later on tonight. But pretty much clear skies. We had the clouds earlier this morning. Now we got the sunshine across the region and a whole bunch of nothing out to the west. So this is going to be our weather as we head into the weekend. Warm. It's going to be a windy weekend, back near 80 on Sunday. Some scattered thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday. Bigger storm system late next week. We'll break it all down for you here in just a bit.
All right. See you then. Thanks, Doug. Tomorrow, voters across America will have the opportunity to participate in a caucus to vote for the Republican nominee for president. The caucus replaces the presidential primary election, which Missouri representatives did not vote to implement this year. Each county has at least one site where voters will meet. The chairman for the Missouri Republican Party says there are a few things voters need to know ahead of the big day.
What it will look like is you have to be a registered voter of your county. You have to have a government-issued current picture ID and be willing to sign a statement that you are, in fact, a Republican, because we do not register by party in Missouri.
After tomorrow's caucus, delegates will meet in April at the district convention to continue the process of nominating a Republican candidate. You can find more information about this year's election season on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The race for the Republican presidential nomination is continuing in Washington, D.C., with voters underway in the district. But an even bigger prize is just 5 days away, Super Tuesday. Willie James Inman has Washington with the latest from the 2024 campaign.
And who says there are no Republicans in D.C.?
Nikki Haley is campaigning for last-minute support in Washington, D.C. as district Republicans start voting in the GOP primary.
Don't complain about what happens in a general election if you don't vote in this primary. It matters.
Former President Donald Trump has beaten Haley in every state that has voted so far. But the former UN ambassador has vowed to stay in the race through at least Super Tuesday, the 15 states that go to the polls next week.
Nikki is still putting her message out there, and I support her message.
Haley's campaign announced that it raised more than $12 million in February, helping her stay in the race for the foreseeable future. But she's way behind in the battle for delegates. A third of the delegates needed to win the nomination are up for grabs on Tuesday, meaning Trump could all but lock up the race with a big night. He released a video on social media Friday urging his supporters to vote.
It's called Super Tuesday. It's big stuff. And it's the single most important primary day of the year.
Polls show immigration is the #1 concern among voters right now. And both President Biden and former President Trump were about 300 miles apart in Texas Thursday visiting the U.S.-Mexico border, talking about the issue that could swing the race. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Pollsters say Republicans are the big reason for the jump in immigration being the most important issue. 57% of Republicans surveyed selected immigration as the top issue, a 37% jump since January. Firefighters in Texas are desperately working to contain massive wildfires that have killed at least 2 people. The Smokehouse Creek fire is now the largest in Texas history and has burned more than 1 million acres since Monday. More help from state and federal fire teams is expected in the area today. Still ahead, going for a dip.
From piping hot to freezing cold, I'm Ian Lee with the health benefits of this backyard sauna sensation.
Plus, the CDC announces new guidelines for recovering from COVID. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, people who test positive for COVID no longer have to isolate for 5 days. Under the CDC's updated recommendations, people who are sick should stay home and away from others. They can resume normal activities when their symptoms are mild and improving, and if they've been fever-free for 24 hours without the help of fever-reducing medicine. The new approach is in line with recommendations for other respiratory viruses, including the flu and RSV.
Importantly, we know vaccines work. We have data from the first half of the season that shows that if you got a vaccine, it's really protective, and that the people going to the hospital, 95% of them did not have an updated vaccine.
A CDC analysis of the effectiveness of this season's flu vaccine shows getting immunized reduced the risk of flu-related hospitalizations by 40% in adults. The reduction was even higher in children by nearly 50%. Doctors' visits were also significantly reduced. Backyard bathing is making a comeback overseas as health-conscious people dip their toes into a new trend. Experts say there are a lot of benefits if you're brave enough. Ian Lee has the story from London.
The shivering sensation can take more than your breath away.
That was enough hot.
But dipping into a cool pool, these backyard bathers say, delivers a feel-good frozen feeling.
No, it's good. It's refreshing, isn't it?
Experts claim the health benefits on this pathway to pain start by steaming with strangers at 185 degrees.
It is actually doing amazing things in terms of reducing inflammation and promoting circulation in the body.
But it's the plunge into freezing 35-degree water that leaves sauna goers smiling.
Endorphins flowing through the body, so that's why people will talk about feeling quite high after the sauna and the cold plunge.
The shock to the system is electrifying London.
I feel great.
I feel alive.
Yeah.
With community sauna baths bubbling up amid the city's concrete rat race, offering a place to disconnect.
This is the one place where I'm not reaching for my phone. I'm in the sauna, I'm not even thinking about it.
It relaxes me more. I think because you have to slow down your mind and your body.
And experts say the more you go, the more you soak up the benefits.
Having that once a week ritual can just be a really amazing reset.
Letting off some steam in a cool new community. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
European researchers found men who sauna more than 3 times a week are at lower risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, how companies are building artificial intelligence into all aspects of our lives.
And it turned out to be a pretty good Friday, but a big warm-up as we head into the weekend. Everything you need to know coming up next. Well, of course, a pretty good Friday. Made it through another work week, heading into another very nice weather weekend. Of course, last weekend we were into the 70s to near 80. We're going to do it again this weekend. But with warmer temperatures, the allergies start to sneak up on you. In fact, today, our allergies are kind of in that low to mid range. But look at this. Tomorrow they shoot kind of medium to high in 8.1 out of 12. So if you are an allergy sufferer, you're going to be doing some suffering as we go through the next couple days. Clear skies, had the clouds this morning. It looks great. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We can go outside for your evening hours. Chilly. We're going to slide back through the 40s, but we'll bottom out right around 40 degrees later on tonight. Let's look outside. 55, Carthage, Neosho, Anderson, Bella Vista sitting into the mid-50s. Grand Lake 58, Chanute 57, Nowata is sitting at 57. Here's 7th and Rangeline, currently 55. South winds at about 5 to 10. Now the winds are really going to get moving this weekend. Check this out. We'll have winds gusting 20 to 30 by Saturday afternoon, but then they push near 40, if not a little above, by the time we head into Sunday. So very windy, so secure the trash can because it's going to end up probably neighbor's yard over the next couple days. Looking outside, we do have the clear skies now. Had the clouds earlier, but across the Central Plains, we are looking pretty good. And this big gap of nothing here, that's our weather as we head into the weekend. Then here's our next storm system, which will start to affect us on Monday and then on Tuesday. Let's go down the road through the weekend. Looks fantastic. Here's that strong storm system. It pulls out, but look at all the energy, mainly across the northern plains. We will probably get a few scattered thunderstorms in here, but most of the energy stays to our north. As this system passes by, another one will dip into the Central Plains, giving us showers and thunderstorms again by the time we head into next Thursday. But it looks pretty good next couple days. Tonight, overnight lows, upper 30s to lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine. On your Saturday, we start to warm up. By noon, we're going to be into the upper 60s. By the afternoon, 73 Stockton, 73 Neosho, Grand Lake, 74, Independence sitting at about 75 degrees. Tomorrow night, drop back, not that much. We stay in the mid-50s for overnight lows. And then look at this, on Sunday, we shoot all the way up to about 80 degrees during the afternoon. Very windy. Clouds will start to increase as we get into Sunday night and then heading into Monday morning. Weekend forecast, 74 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, warmer Saturday, winds really picking up, and then very warm and windy as we go into your Sunday. By Monday, those clouds increase and chances for scattered thunderstorms start to pop up as we get into Monday evening. There's not a lot of moisture with this system, but if we can get a few popping up, they could be on the strong side. 74 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, 79 on Monday. A little bit cooler, but still nice. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, showers and thunderstorms sticking around, cooling down a little bit next weekend. But man, for the first weekend of March, mid to upper 70s to near 80, it's pretty hard to beat.
It's going to be beautiful hammocking weather.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, how Kia and Hyundai owners can soon get part of a multi-million-dollar settlement. Topping today's Consumer Watch, millions of Kia and Hyundai car owners should be able to claim money soon in a massive car theft legal settlement. The automakers settled a class action lawsuit for $145 million after claims that they failed to install immobilizers in some models, allowing cars to be stolen. Anyone who bought or leased a Kia or Hyundai from 2011 to 2022 should be eligible for the settlement. Artificial intelligence is changing the world of technology. Bradley Blackburn shows us how tech companies are incorporating AI in everything from our phones to the operating room.
Robotic surgery has been around for years, but doesn't give surgeons the same feel as a hands-on operation. That may be changing. This robot uses artificial intelligence to send sensory feedback to the hand devices, so surgeons can feel when they're touching tissue. It's just one of many AI products on display at the Mobile World Congress Tech Show in Barcelona. This smartwatch from DoublePoint connects to your device and allows you to use your fingers like a mouse to navigate through apps.
Every time you tap your fingers, there's a certain vibration that occurs, and that we can pick up with the sensors that are already in our smartwatches.
What is the population of Barcelona?
The company Humane is selling a $700 AI pin that's operated with your voice.
Barcelona is approximately 1.609 million people.
The device can also project information to your hand and allows you to scroll with your finger movements. AI is all the buzz right now, but some experts say too much too soon could come with a backlash.
And this is a risk because from a consumer perspective, if a lot of these brands that you see around us are just throwing AI in as buzzwords, it risks becoming increasingly meaningless because AI doesn't mean a lot to consumers. It's what it actually enables.
Right now, it enables this Lenovo laptop to create a transparent display. On this phone, it can turn text commands into a picture instantly. Analysts believe this is just the beginning, and AI will eventually transform technology. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Millennials could become the richest generation ever by the year 2044. That's according to the wealth report by global property consultant Knight Frank. The research says that the generation expected to inherit roughly $90 trillion worth of assets over the next 20 years. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how a coach's powerful words led a child from the hospital to the basketball courts. Then on KOAM News at 6, we'll have more on the new group in Joplin helping families of kids with Down syndrome. Plus, some JROTC members in McDonald County help clean up a highway. And Fort Scott High School and Independence square off on the hardwood for a ticket to the state tournament. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Climate change is threatening the survival of the iconic Arctic fox, but scientists in Norway say they found a way to protect the creatures and help boost their numbers. Tina Kraus has the story.
Their playful nature and distinctive look make them one of the most captivating creatures in the wild. But Arctic foxes are crying out for help. Experts say climate change is making their prey more scarce as they need to hunt enough rodents to survive long winters.
If we get warmer and more unstable climate where you get snow melt and you get icing on the ground, that is going to affect how well the rodents can survive.
So scientists in Norway are lending a hand, setting up more than 30 feeding stations across the wilderness. It's a controversial step in conservation circles, but without it, biologists believe the animals would go extinct.
If we stop the feeding now, we would see a decrease in the population sizes, and that would be really detrimental.
Norway has been breeding Arctic foxes for nearly 20 years in an effort to boost the population, and it's working, with numbers jumping from 40 to around 550 across Scandinavia.
I still think we have some way to go before we can say that we've really saved the species.
Scientists feel they're on the right road to safeguarding the creatures. Once they grow big enough, they're taken on a ride to freedom and released into the wild, left to outfox nature on their own. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Well, they probably wouldn't be very good off here because we're having some warm weather, aren't we?
We are, and it's going to stay on the mild side, well, actually warm side as we head into the weekend. 74 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, but the winds really pick up. So to warm up this much in early March, it's going to be windy, but it's going to be nice.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. From all of us here at KOAM News, have a great evening.